Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chu News. As always, my name's Dee Brady,
And I'm Tay Chichu.
and on this episode, we're going to be discussing, as always, some news, our discussion question, and silly little question. But let's start with some news. And the first thing we've got is our next seven-star raid is going to be yet another starter, which I'm kind of liking, and I think they're going to get a lot of all the starters out of the way first before we start seeing something else other than like maybe a paradox Pokemon here and there because we've got before we go into this seven-star raid, we do have in the middle of May another Walking Wake and Iron Leaves event going on. And I'll kind of tie that in to another news announcement here in just a minute. But our current seven-star raid that we've got going on this week and next week is going to be Inteleon with an ice type. And Tay, before I get going even more, you kind of made a quick connection with an announcement that you made last week.
As we know, the Sobble Build-A-Bear was recently kind of leaked, and it's now in the Build-A-Bear stores. It is on the Build-A-Bear website, and I'm pretty sure that with the Sobble came the announcement of the Inteleon, just kind of showing us that they're kind of making this connection, making it kind of more of like a popular thing, and getting more word about it.
Definitely, because Pokemon doesn't do anything for nothing. They definitely have a reason for everything. So this is going to be an interesting one. I could very well be jinxing it right now, but I think this could be
Haha.
our ease. Yes, I think this could be our easiest seven-star raid because Inteleon's kind of a frail Pokemon, doesn't have the best defenses. And so at least my plan is to bring a good like steel type in.
Hmm.
So I'll bring in like Tinkaton and set up Swords Dance 3 times and then Gigaton Hammer.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. At first, I
So
didn't know about because I remember back when Lapras was becoming a big thing, especially with Gigantamax Lapras. It was really hard to take down with the Gigantamax ability. So the
mhm,
ice water typing kind of brought me back some PTSD of trying to bring it down.
yes. But I think one thing that is kind of I think become a staple is the Terra type overwrites both or the single type of the Pokemon it is. So it's not going to be a water ice type, it's just an ice type.
Hmm. Hmm.
At least that's what I've deduced.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. It's just for like the water moves and the,
Oh yeah.
I think.
That's why I'm not that's why I didn't suggest any fire types.
Oh yeah.
It's like whenever Samurott came around, I didn't suggest any fire types for that raid event either.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Mhm. But I'm going to toss it over to you for some quick merch news.
Wow. Merch news. Not too much. Some more TCG card sets. Plush wise, we got a Palmy 9 inch that's retailing for 19.99. A Smoliv plush that is also 9 inches that is 19.99. Pokemon is now releasing every month a new Pokemon moods statue, which is basically just like a mood, a Pokemon that's displaying a mood in a little statue. Uh,
Big, big mood.
exactly. This month's is Slack Off in the relaxed mood.
I was wondering why they were doing that.
Yeah, and there's some tweets that we've seen of like the outlines of it. Like I know one of them Skitty. I'm pretty sure next month is Meowth. Pretty sure there's a bag on at some point. You can see them on Twitter yourself. And there's also a pin with Arcanine with a choice scarf held item pin. It's Arcanine chain and then choice scarf, which is a choice because what Arcanine really uses choice scarf nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And
I guess they're getting like playing on nostalgia and stuff, but still.
yeah, it's certainly a choice. I will say that. And then also in merch news, Build-A-Bear released they put on Twitter the new, not new, the Bulbasaur Build-A-Bear that has temporarily restocked on the bundle has temporarily restocked on the Pokemon Center. Nope, on the Build-A-Bear website. I'm doing great.
Hey,
I'm
that's all we can ask for.
I find it interesting though because they're restocking some of these Pokemon and these Pokemon bundles. I have not seen the Jigglypuff one at all.
Maybe they're afraid for a crash.
Well, I don't know. I had to buy my Jigglypuff Puff Build-A-Bear off eBay because I wanted it so bad and it wasn't sold. Like I had to buy a used one, which I was fine with. But you know, I'm just surprised that one was one of the early ones that came out,
Mhm.
and they haven't restocked that in a long time. So who knows? But I'll
Who
toss it
knows?
on back to you for some other news that I forgot that you're gonna say.
So we also are expecting. We've gotten some rumors about Pokemon Home
Oh,
in the release date for the connectivity with Scarlet and Violet. I was watching a video by A Drive and HTV earlier today, and they were citing some supposed leaks that May 12th or around that time is when we should be getting home connectivity.
hmm.
And I think they might be right, just because around that time is also when we're getting the next like Walking Wake Iron Leaves raid event.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be kind of they're making up for the glitches that were going on in the first Walking Wake and Iron Leaves event, but also just kind of being like, hey, we've got connectivity now.
A little late,
Finally.
but we're getting there.
So that's the last news item that I've got. And then around this time this episode gets released, new Pokemon in Unite should probably be close to, if not released. Am I correct, Tay?
Yes, it'll be Chandelure. It's gonna be a good old-fashioned special attacker. The way that I've seen its moves kind of reminds me a little bit of Delphox, which isn't a bad thing. But it'll be interesting to see that Pokemon be overpowered and then nerfed to the ground and then brought back up. Thank you, Pokemon Unite.
Well, that is it for our news segment. When we come back, we're going to be discussing, in honor of Earth Day being this past weekend, what our favorite grass type starter is.
Wow.
Welcome back, everybody. And right now we are going to be in our discussion question. And our discussion question B, what is our favorite grass type starter? Now, this is in honor of Earth Day that was this past weekend. And so I'm going to let Tay start this one off.
We're letting it down loose for Earth Day. Um,
Let loose.
um, so my favorite grass starter. I have two good ones. The one that who's almost my starter but not my starter is Rowlet, because Rowlet's really cute. But I have to go with my OG, the number one, a Bulbasaur, because growing up I always picked. What is that face?
Just no, you'll understand in a minute. You'll understand in a minute.
Okay. Don't be hating on my little green onion.
Oh no, there's no hate here.
Better not be. Bulbasaur. As I grew up, I loved Charmander, who turned into Charizard. And then I've learned Charizard is pretty overrated. And if you look at Bulbasaur, he's a perfect shape. He's an onion dinosaur with little vines for hands. And I love him so much. And I have so many Bulbasaur plushes at this point. And he is just adorable. He's good with kids. Togepi. He's good with kids. He will make you cookies when you're having a bad day. Cook you up some soup. He can make soup from himself if he wanted to. Is that a horror movie waiting to happen? Absolutely. But it's fine. They even got their own little Bulbasaur like mating call ordeal. It's adorable. Venusaur, beautiful plant. Ivysaur, solid teenage years of a middle evolution.
I will say Ivysaur is like
The best
one
one.
of the strongest
100%.
middle evolutions for a starter.
And if you've ever played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, crawling with Venusaur is the best thing in the world.
Pops.
Whoop, 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 and who doesn't
I
like
was
it?
not expecting. I was not expecting that because we've seen Venusaur walk in the anime.
No, he frolics. He frolics now. So, overall, and I also really, back when Sword and Shield came out, I really grew very attached to Gigantamax Venusaur. So, Bulbasaur is the best starter. Alright, let's hear your inferior opinion.
Okay. Like you, it was kind of a toss-up for me.
Mm-hmm.
The toss-up that came pretty close to getting it is the newest grass starter, Sprigatito.
Oh, really? A lot of people hate Sprigatito.
Because it became bipedal. Everyone loved it whenever it was a quadruped.
Oh, you said big words and my brain didn't understand, and I thought that Meowscarda was now named bipedal. And I was like, did I forget the last evolution's name? It's bipedal?
No. Because it stood up instead of staying on all fours.
Sounds about right.
But I like it just because I thought Sprigatito was really cute. Of course, both you and I have cats. We're cat people. But the reason why I was making that face is because we are just that good of friends that we, again, for a third episode, have the same answer.
You can't go wrong with Bulbasaur.
You really can't. Like the grass starters, I will say, every generation are solid designs.
For the first
stage, they're solid designs.
I was just about to say, because there's no way you're talking up Chespin like that. Or the evolutions of Chespin. No, or Snivy.
Okay, it turns into a snake. It turns into a pretentious snake.
I'm not talking this way about Arbok. Ekans? Seviper? No. Orthoworm? No.
Orthworm's a worm.
He's a ferocious snake.
Sure.
But Snivy?
Snivy's someone's favorite.
I'm sure. And that's sad.
But yeah, I like Bulbasaur, and it's kind of going along the same reasons of Torchic being my OG starter to begin with. Of May had a Bulbasaur that turned into a Venusaur, and that's why specifically all of my Venusaurs now are female. Because hers was female.
Some people that play Pokemon are so strange to me.
Because I want desperately to be May.
I never cared about the gender of my Pokemon. But some people are very specific about it. Like, for you, it's because of May. And I know people who, like, want an all-boy team.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, that's totally your preference. But I had never heard of it.
Oh, this is another discussion question waiting to happen, but when it comes I don't care about gender roles in the slightest, but when it comes to my Pokemon, there are some Pokemon that I'm like needs to be a girl, needs to be a boy. And then I'm definitely one of those people that like has to fit every Pokemon into an aesthetically pleasing ball that I think fits the theme of their design. Like
I use Ultra Balls.
I I caught Chi Yu, the little fire goldfish, in a dive ball
Of course you did.
because it's a fish. I put my Alolan Raichu is in a dive ball because it's a surfer.
Okay,
Again, this is a discussion question for another time.
it is.
But Bulbasaur is my favorite grass starter. Just because also in contests, Bulbasaur is great.
Bulbasaur's Bulbasaur's a good. I just wish it shiny was better.
Yeah, there are a lot of Pokemon that I wish their shinies were better. Like Blaziken shiny could be better.
Gengar shiny could be better.
I'd just make Gengar's Gigantamax and Mega shiny its regular shiny.
Literally. Pokemon, change it.
But let us know what your favorite grass type starter is. You got 9 to choose from. So you can't say you don't have options.
But if one of them's Snivy, you're getting judged.
By just Tay, not me. I will not judge you.
I will.
And that's coming from a Gemini.
Anyway.
But when we come back, we're to get into everyone's favorite portion, the silly little question.
Oh my goodness.
And welcome back. Now it is everyone's favorite portion of the episode, the silly little question.
Oh my goodness.
Today's silly little question is, what Pokemon do you think would make the best prankster? And we're not talking the ability prankster. We're just talking a good old prankster Pokemon.
A good old joke. Good old
A
joke
jokester.
puller. Would go to detention
Joke.
a lot in school.
Mm-hmm. So I'll start off this segment. My Pokemon is going to be Rotom
Alright.
because one, you can utilize all of Rotom's forms to prank someone. But now we're seeing Rotom in everything. We're seeing Rotom in a Pokedex, Rotom in your phone, Rotom in your boxes. In the newest anime, we're seeing Rotom in iPad/tablets.
I think
Rotom is everywhere. So the opportunity to prank someone is endless.
Rotom's a walking poltergeist.
It really is.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good answer. Cause then like you could be like, did I turn the stove off? Rotom turns it on, your whole building burns on fire. Just a prank,
Yeah.
bro.
Just a prank. Rotom's over there laughing maniacally as you're like, my home.
I did never enter's insurance.
Not your own fault.
Nothing but
But
tears.
what's your answer?
So, you could have always gone with the Ditto answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. Because I'm not basic.
Basic.
I went with Zoroark.
Okay. Not as basic, but still.
Well, I think that Zoroark has a different, like, twang to it. Because Zoroark, like, can talk. Whereas the Ditto can't really talk. Or even, like, if this, like, person is walking their Pokemon, right? All of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, the person sees two of the same Pokemon walking together.
It's like, where did you come from?
And then you're just confused. And then everyone's pranked. And then you're all on your tummies laughing.
True.
Or you could even be like, pretend like you shaved your entire head. Zoroark, like, has you with no hair. You're pranking your significant other. Like, haha, I shaved my head. And they're like, oh my god, it looks great. And in reality, it's like, No, you're pranked. Light-hearted little pranks, not burning down your building like Rotom.
You got punked, son.
Another good prank with Rotom, well, not good prank, but like a prank that would be like goes too far, would be like Rotom becomes the refrigerator and he just turns it off. All
I
the
would.
food in your fridge goes bad.
That's so wasteful. That's so wasteful.
Prank
I would
gone
look at
wrong.
I would look at Rotom and be like, "Joke's on you. Your food was in there."
Yeah, but he could probably just like eat electric zolts, couldn't he? Like just
Yeah,
go into an outlet and be like, "All right, I'm content, guys."
yeah. I literally just watched an episode where Rotom eat electricity.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, I think we had good answers. Could you
I think
imagine
so too.
like an out of pocket answer like Eevee? What's Eevee gonna do?
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah. Uh, you want to go and evolve it into Vaporeon, and it's like, "Joke's on you. I'm gonna go and touch this Thunderstone."
Maybe one of the biggest pranksters also is Abra, because it just keeps leaving. But it's the
Just
same
keeps
prank. It's just
teleporting.
the same prank over and over again. And you're just like,
God,
oh, I'm so sad. Give me a hug. It's like, zoop. But I guess it's just antisocial and
you
mean at
got.
that point, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what Pokemon you would think would make the best prankster
And why?
and why. When we come back, we're going to do a quick wrap up before the end of the episode.
Wowza.
And that has been our episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening or both. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, comment down your favorite grass type starter, what Pokemon you think would make the best prankster. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. I am at DBradyEW21.
I'm at Teichichu7.
Awesome. And then before we officially wrap up, remember we got our first round of Inteleon raids starting this week. Usually it says it starts on Friday, but that's for Japan's time zone. So it usually starts around Thursday night for us here in the States. And then like Tay said, we've got Smoliv and Palmy that dropped in the Pokemon Center. Sobble's also available. Bulbasaur just restocked, and
That's about
just
it.
keep on. That's about it, and just keep on trucking with the anime. Nothing new there. And keep an eye out, and we'll definitely confirm or retract the statement of if May 12th is the release date for Pokemon Home connectivity with Scarlet and Violet.
Yay.
Yay. But until then, remember everyone, when you choose your news,
choose
choose
Chu
Chu News.
News. We did our best.
Okay.
Goodbye.
We did our best.